Toynado!
Collecticon! Sorry, Collecticon.
That's right, guys. For part 3, we're diving straight into it.
Pete, my thoughts when I walked through the door at Collecticon was, this is freaking huge. But also, I think I've been here before.
My thought was, game on! Shit, you didn't bring cash. And then I spent a good 35 minutes in line waiting for an ATM to be fixed so that I could get some cash. Tip number 1, bring cash to these events. Such a rookie mistake that I made.
Yeah, Pete, that was a rookie mistake. I, on the other hand, was cashed up with what little I had left from the previous day's adventures. So it was 3 different rooms, all filled with tables with vendors selling various things. Pete, can I be honest for a second? Well, more honest, like brutally honest. I prefer these Collecticon things much more than like Supernova or Oz Comic Con. Like, in those ones you just get like, shops. Whereas this one is like collectors trying to sell their collections and, okay, sure, a few little stores. But it's really like meeting the people is part of the fun.
I can definitely see where you're coming from with this.
Alright, Pete. I remember you saying that morning that you had one goal for the day. And what was that?
Not getting lost?
No, not getting lost. That was never going to happen.
Well, I now had 3 of the Ninja Turtles skateboards. I needed 1 more so I could have my final collection.
And did you succeed?
Does a fat man know how to get double breakfast? Yes, I did succeed. Cue the video! I thought I might talk about point number 2 when you go to these things, which is about pricing. Every table is going to be different, and you can see the same item on one table or in one hall, which has got a difference between $10 to $15, or sometimes they would say that it's more collectible than what you would believe. And I think that's the main thing, is what you're willing to part with.
It's a good point, Pete. Something is only worth what the purchaser is willing to pay.
So this skateboard, which I got my last one, was offered to me for $20. And the way that I think about it is more that what was the original retail, what the condition is. Don't worry about boxing or anything like that. It's more got to do with what do you want. Now, I want a display, and I don't care if there's no, like, as you can see by this picture here, it comes with a little handle. I don't need the handle. All I need is to have that little foot thing that flips up. I want that to be active in all of those skateboards that I have. With that in mind, I would say that $20, which I paid, is a good price for it. Because A, it completes my set, and B, I don't think I'd find it anywhere else. And the other thing is, it's okay to walk around. Now, I was pretty sure that no one was going to buy this because it was already there by the time I walked around once. And I did do a walk around after I went to the ATM, of course, to see if I could find it anywhere else, which I couldn't. And as soon as I knew that, I went back to the table and then I bought it. So number 2 is more about scoping out and realizing that sometimes you may find it for less or for more, but don't make quick decisions. More or less, purchase with what you feel is right. The first purchase that I got from the day was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Pizza Power game.
I remember having that game as a kid, and it gave me and my brother hours of fun.
2 to 4 players aged 6 and up. That means I meet the criteria. This was $10. Can you believe it? $10 for, I think, one of the first board games that came out with Ninja Turtles. And this is amazing. If we quickly have a look at the board itself. Oh, look at all the artwork. Look at the pictures. Now, some things are missing. But that's okay. I've got the ingenuity, wish I could say the word, to be able to rebuild the pieces that I need. But this just brings back a lot of memories. I never owned the board game, but I'm pretty sure someone of my friends had it. But you can see here with some of the pieces that I've got, a little twisty thing, the cards. Here are the rules, which I haven't looked at yet. But this, for $10, is gold in my books. As we were finishing up for the day and we left, there was another store that had a slightly better condition one. And the lady asked me, because she saw it in my bag, how much should I pay for this? And I asked how much she was charging for hers. She said $70 for hers, and I said I paid mine for $10. Then we both had a chuckle, and she said I got a good deal. I kind of said that's pretty much all I'll spend on, $10, and then we left. But that's what I'm trying to get at. Hers was worth $70, mine I got for $10. You need to really think about your purchase and see if you can find it somewhere. Where you can find it somewhere else. I got myself some He-Man toys, a 1985 Stondar, leader of the Comet Warriors from Masters of the Universe. Anthony, you had this we showed it in the Rock Lords video. And now, I don't have weapons, but I've got the figure itself, so that's pretty cool. I've also got the other rock guy, where I had him with one missing leg. Now I've got a complete version of him, which is awesome. The next toy that I found was Roboto, again from Masters of the Universe. Now I do have my brother's old one, but he came with weapons. And usually the weapons you can find are about $10 each, or maybe $8 to be honest. But 2 weapons plus a figure, $15 again. Bargain in my books. Bargain. Oh, that's my daughter.
Look, Pete, those Masters are really good value. I can't believe I missed those.
And my last point is the hunt itself, where you won't get everything that you want, even if you find it at one point at the table. I found myself some of the Land Before Time Pizza Hut toys that you got with the meals. And they were asking for $30 each. They didn't have the whole set, but they had enough for me to be curious. Now, what I'm showing you in front of you is the ones that Anthony owns. He was generous enough to let me record them. Thank you. But these are the things that I've been hunting for. I knew that I have the whole set somewhere, or it's been chucked out accidentally, or something's gone amiss, but I had them. I know I did, but I can't find them anymore. But $30 is a lot to ask, especially if then you're going to buy that. And who knows, early on in that day, that might have been my only purchase then, because I used most of my money. And when I went back around after the ATM, such a rookie mistake, they were gone, all of them. So you can get upset about it, you can wish that you bought it, but I like to think about how next time there might be even a cheaper one on the next hunt. So, Anthony, how about you? What'd you get?
Pete, I spent so much time in that first little area looking at stuff that I think you actually sent me a message going, hey, there's more stuff. So, I was having a really good look through a few of the vendors in the first pavilion, we'll call it.
Oh, that's a little fancy. Pavilion.
There was some really good stuff there, Pete. A lot of things that were unfortunately well out of my price range. I did see the G.I. Joe base in its box, which, if I had bought that, well, let's just say there's no way I could have afforded that. There was also Star Wars figures in their packets, the Power of the Force ones with the coins, which, they are so pretty, but also really expensive just in general. I saw Masters of the Universe with their weapons and such. The thing I did forget to go back and get was Beastman with all his accessories. I remembered just now that I saw that at one of the first stalls that I went to and went, oh, I'll come back for that in a second, and then got distracted by something else. But there was so much stuff loose or in their boxes and packets, and it's always fun to have a bit of a rummage around. So the first thing that I bought was a carded G.I. Joe. But it's not your regular carded G.I. Joe. It was, the packet is in Spanish. So it was one that was released in Spain. It's Roadblock from Tiger Force. Tiger Force is something that I've been trying to collect since I was a little kid, because I loved the ads for it on the back of a VHS that we had. But I picked him up. I had 2 in my hand to start with. One was this one, and one was, I think the Indian packaging by Fun School. And I looked at them both and went, no, I only need one. So I picked up this one. As soon as I put the other one down, somebody picked it straight up again. So that was quite interesting. But it only cost me $30. And like the card is really nice. Like a couple of little creases, but you know, that's nothing really. Like the bubble is really firm and the figure looks cool. I did notice that that particular person had a few other G.I. Joe bits and pieces that I did have a look at. Some of it was a bit out of my price range. Some of it was the Fun School ones that I didn't particularly want. But if I had have had, you know, all the money that I'd spent the previous days, I probably would have grabbed a handful of them. So after that, I, you know, wandered off a bit. I'm pretty sure I'd lost you by this point in time. Uh, Wandered past a stall that had Marvel Legends back when they were done by Toy Biz, which were really cool to see. But just wandering up and down the aisles, looking through tubs. I had collector cards, which I always love collector cards. I didn't grab anything this time through. But it's as you're saying, Pete, like it's about the hunt. And I eventually wandered into the next pavilion and lots more tables, as we've said. One particular person had tubs of action figures in bags, and I had to have a look through, and I actually came across the Prince Adam from the current Master of the Universe series. I think he originally comes with like the Sky Sled, but it's just him on his own with his sword. And let's be honest, that's all I really needed. So that was really cool. I was talking to the person at the store, and they've gone, "Oh, you've grabbed it. If it was still there by the end of the day, I was going to buy that for myself." It's like, sorry, mine now. I came back to that table a little bit later and realised they actually had G.I. Joe vehicles all bagged up with their accessories and such. And I came across this one, which is the AWE Striker, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody in the comments. It's got both of its aerials, which are usually torn to pieces or missing. Like, it was great to see them. Like, they're not in the best condition, but they are the original ones, which was really cool. It's got its gun, it's got its engine at the back, it's got the little controller at the front. In fact, the only thing that it's missing besides the driver, which I already have, was one of the little lens covers for the lights. So I was stoked to find that. If I had have had enough space, I would have been able to go through the entire tub that they had there, because there were so many really cool things in there. But I didn't have the space, and it kind of felt like at that point I didn't have the time either. But, you know, maybe next time. There's another Collecticon coming up some point soon. So, Pete, the last thing I bought myself was a Marvel Legend. It was Danny Moonstar, which in the States was a Walgreens exclusive. I think it was like a New Mutants pack, because it comes with her and her bow. It also comes with the head of Karma, so you can swap the head onto the body. And also has the head of Wolfsbane, so you can do the exact same thing. So I've walked up to the stall and he's had a few Marvel Legends standing up there, and that one was there. I've just gone, "Excuse me, how much is that?" And they've gone, $30. Like, okay, do you have the bow? The guy goes, "Mate, I've got all the accessories." I'm like, "Please, sir, take my money." So I don't really need the other heads, but I suppose it's good to have. Like, I'm not going to swap them out because I'm going to have Danny Moonstar as Danny Moonstar. For those of you playing at home, she was an original member of the New Mutants, which is one of the X-Men teams from mid-80s, written by Chris Claremont. Totally amazing series. You really should read it. It does turn into X-Force, which is also good for the most part. Anyway, I've taken plenty of photos of Danny in front of her first appearance comic, and really cool Peach Momoko covers, and a whole bunch of others. So yeah, that was all I bought actually for that day. Like, there was other things, like as we've said, like if I had the money, I would have bought them. But, you know, sometimes it just goes that way. You've got to really think about what you want and what you're willing to pay, and just go for it. And I think, Pete, every time we went out, every different store, we always found something we didn't think we'd be getting. It was always something new and exciting. It was, aside from your sewer skater, it was never something we'd planned to go out and get. Hey Pete, can I just give a shout out to friend of the show Darren, who really nicely put us up for 2 nights at his place and, made sure we were fed and watered and, just mostly got to where we were going with minimal hassle. Minimal hassle, would you say, Pete? Certainly not getting lost or getting the wrong directions. Bottom line is, Darren's a great bloke, and thank you for putting us up and putting up with us. So folks, did you go to Penrith Collecticon? What was your Penrith Collecticon story? What was your fantastic item to buy? What did you find? What did you miss? Tell us in the comments. Pete, I can't believe that SOB got himself a USS Flag in box. Had I been there earlier, I swear,